Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to the conversation. We got a brand new hot episode for you guys today. But before I get into the video, I want you guys to go ahead and make sure you hit the like button. We're trying to get to as many likes on all these videos that we upload. So if you guys can go ahead and hit the like button, I really appreciate that. And also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to check out our Dreamerspro Short Clips. It's in the description below, and the Dreamerspro Podcast, which we also have in the description below. Now, before I go too far on, let me just get straight into the topic. In this video today, we're going to be talking about Kawhi Leonard's most unstoppable move. Now, I gotta say, looking throughout the internet, I haven't seen anyone, particularly do a video about this. And for me, as a huge Kobe Bryant fan, a Michael Jordan fan, and Kawhi Leonard reminds me of these guys, I just got some inspiration, and it made me think, what is Kawhi Leonard's most unstoppable move? Now, before I get into that, let me just quickly give you a quick sort of recap on Kawhi Leonard's career accomplishments. Thus far, he's a two-time NBA champion. He's been a two-time Finals MVP. He's been a four-time All-Star. He's been a two-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's also an All-Star Game MVP. He's been on 3 All-First NBA teams, 2 second teams. So he's been on 5 All-NBA teams. And he's actually in his 8th year in his career playing in the NBA. Now, currently this season, although we know that we're having sort of a pause season, which I do believe is going to come back, Kawhi Leonard is averaging 27 points a game, 7.3 rebounds, and 5 assists. Now, if we go a little bit deeper into that, he's actually only played 51 games this season. And in those 51 games, he's averaging about 32 minutes a game. He's shooting 47% from the field, which is really efficient, which I'm going to get back to in a moment. He's shooting 36.6% from the three-point line, which is really good. And he's shooting 89% from the free throw line, which is really, really, really efficient. And he's getting you 1.8 steals a game and 0.6 blocks. Now, in the playoffs, we all know that Kawhi Leonard is a much more let's say, prolific basketball player. In the playoffs last season, his minutes per game went all the way up to 39 minutes a game. He shot 49% from the field, so essentially he shot 50% in the playoffs. He shot 38% from the three-point line, 88% from the free throw line. He got you 9.1 rebounds, 3.9 assists, 1.7 steals, and 0.7 blocks per game. So he definitely took his productivity to an entirely different level. Now, for us to understand what Kawhi Leonard's most unstoppable move is, we have to look at his game as a whole. What are some of the moves that Kawhi Leonard actually has in his bag? Well, Kawhi Leonard is a fantastic post player. He can play really well out of the post. He can also hit the spot, a spot up three. He can hit 3-pointers coming off of, transition. He can stop and pull up from the 3-point line. He can hit the fadeaway shot. He has a hook shot. He has so many different shots that he can hit. And the way he scores, he can score either with a live dribble or coming off of picks. Whatever it is, he has a plethora of ways of scoring. But I believe Kawhi Leonard's most unstoppable shot is the pull-up jump shot. That is the most unstoppable shot that he has. Now, some of you guys may be saying, but the pull-up jump shot is such a basic basketball move, like a pull-up jump shot. Well, you would actually be surprised to know that that particular shot was actually Kobe Bryant's most deadly weapon. And he himself, Kobe, has said that his most efficient shot, the shot that made him unstoppable, was his pull-up jump shot. Now, on its face, it sounds very basic, but what does the pull-up jump shot actually allow Kawhi Leonard to do? First of all, Kawhi Leonard, that means that if he's coming down, the court in transition, he can pull up and stop, and usually that shot catches a lot of defenders off guard. Another way that he's very effective with this shot is in a triple threat position when he catches the ball and he's really beginning to size up the defender. If you go back and look at Kawhi Leonard's offensive highlights, you'll notice that a lot of his a good amount of his points come from when he catches the ball, the triple threat position. He sizes the defender up, usually with a jab step, which is something that Kobe did exceptionally well, although Kawhi Leonard does not use pump fakes like Kobe did, because Kobe was, notorious for his pump fakes. He could hit you with like 4 or 5 straight pump fakes until you bite on one, and then that's when he would get you. I don't see Kawhi Leonard using pump fakes quite a lot. What he does is he uses his jab step, and then what that allows him to do is he can either go right and pull up, which you see he does at a very efficient rate in the mid-range, or he can pull up right in front of you, and all he needs is a little bit of daylight. Now, because of his height, Kawhi Leonard is 6'7" inches tall, so he can pretty much raise up, and by the time the shot is at the apex of his shot, he's most likely going to be unaffected when he takes that shot, unless he's played by a lengthy defender like a Kevin Durant, for example, who is 7 feet tall and has such a long wingspan. So that's one way that he's very deadly with the pull-up jump shot, is in a triple threat position. Another way he uses that jump shot is when he's coming off of screens, okay, and picks. If you look at Kawhi Leonard, when he's going downhill and he's in the half-court offense, you'll see him call for a pick. He'll go around the pick. Now, some players who don't have the ability to hit the mid-range jump shot at a high level, like, for example, a Russell Westbrook, they're going to look to drive or kick. Whereas Kawhi Leonard, the minute he comes off of that pick, what he's looking for is a pocket of space where he can pull up and shoot the mid-range. He's good at doing this, going either left or going right. That's another way he gets his bread and butter shots. It's very basic. It's not very, let's say, flamboyant, but it always gets the job done. What's another way that he can use his pull-up jump shot is when he's playing in the post with his back facing the basket. And this is usually when he goes into his fadeaway shots and his hesitation. Now, in order for Kawhi Leonard to have a really effective fadeaway, which is a fadeaway shot, is basically you're pulling it, it's a reverse pull-up jump shot, is that he has to have some really good footwork and great balance, which is something that you can see he was drilled on at a very early age, because Kawhi Leonard, when he shoots his jump shots, even if jumping off with the wrong leg or with his momentum taking him in either direction, he usually keeps the top portion of his body very balanced when he shoots his shot, which allows his head not to swing a lot. He doesn't really flare his feet out as much as maybe a Kobe or Michael Jordan, and I believe that's because he didn't jump as high as them. If you look at Michael Jordan shoot his pull-up jump shot, a lot of it you'll see his legs flare out, and the only reason he's doing that is to really create balance in the air, so his head is not moving when he's shooting the shot, so his head is steady, so therefore his aiming at the basket will be very steady as well. Kawhi Leonard does this very beautifully. He can back you down with 2 dribbles, and he can do this with his off hand. Although you know that his shooting hand is his right hand, he can actually post you up and dribble with his left hand really well, which allows him to keep the defender off guard, because the defender doesn't know which shoulder he's going to shoot that fadeaway jump shot from. That's why his shot is so lethal, and he can hit his mid-range jump shot at a pretty high level. And I think if we go deeper into his numbers, I think he probably hits 40+% of his mid-range attempts. And we all know that he's a very good three-point shooter. And I think this is the number one weapon that Kawhi Leonard has in his arsenal, is this pull-up jump shot. This is bread and butter. It's very basic, but it's a shot that works. If you take in comparison, if you look at someone like a James Harden, I think his deadly weapon, but his most predictable weapon, is a step back three-pointer. James Harden does one of 2 things. Either he's going to do that step back three-pointer, which is a travel, by the way, or he's going to try to blow around you. Okay, so if you understand, you can sort of game plan for him a little bit better. But Kawhi Leonard scores from all over the basketball court, and he doesn't usually have 1 or 2 moves. So as a defender, you can't plan for him. Now, James Harden is really hard to guard, because number one, he takes such a high volume of three-point shots a game. I think he shoots like 9 or 12 three-pointers a game. So, eventually he's going to make some of them, even if he's only making 35% of them. And number two, he shoots the ball a lot and he has a high usage rate. And I don't think Kawhi Leonard's usage rate is at the level of James Harden. But I think Kawhi Leonard is a much more complete scorer because he can score out of the post, he can score in the mid-range, he can score in the three-point line, and also because of his size and his strength, he can, score going to the basket as well with, his hook shots and, reverse layups and all of these different things that he does. But in my opinion, I think his most deadliest weapon, his most unstoppable move is the pull-up jump shot. So what I want to know from you guys is, do you agree with me that this is Kawhi Leonard's most unstoppable move? Or if you think it's another move that I did not mention in this video? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Once again, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day and stay safe. Peace.